Vasilisa, here you are. I've been thinking about that wind and three sides and river shells.
So you've remembered about being Sosietka in that spa?
Now, I think we should go back in the church in Yenidor. Maybe something will come up there.
Let's go. But is there anything left?
We'll search near the foundations, in the cellar. All secrets are hidden underground. You know that better than most. When we'll be in Golbets, maybe then I can tell some future. I'm a Sosietka after all.
Proshka stops every now and then. Circling around a bit, he hesitantly proceeds on his course. It seems as if something is bothering the demon, something about the road ahead that he hasn't himself realized yet. At the next stop, a gust of wind blows dust in your face. Could it be a demonic wedding? You jump into prickly roadside bushes, dragging Proshka with you. After a few moments, the wind dies down. Proshka stops every now and then. The road whirlwind is a harbinger of a northern night. The wind bends the trees and sends dust and leaves flying to the empty spaces of the Yenidor crossroads. Somewhere deep in the forest, a lone wolf begins his song. Proshka stops in hesitation once more.
What a wind.
Why are you standing there, Proshka?
I remembered. I used to visit this place often. Perhaps when I was alive, one of the Chut. Doesn't look like my church was worshipped in much, does it?
All you think is about being worshipped. What else could happen in the crossroads that tied Proshka to this place? Maybe you were buried here. Were you a great sinner?
Sounds about right. That's how I became a Sosietka. Let me think. I think I'm remembering something. Dig here!
I don't want to dig up your grave.
Dig, I say! What a thick-headed witch.
All right, as you wish. But if there's nothing there...
You dig up the earth near the road where Proshka told you to. Under a thin layer of dirt and near a rotten log, you find a silver plaque. Proshka furrows his feline brow, but doesn't feel any memories returning. The old bridge creaks from the cold wind, the cold water of some swampy river rippling beneath it. In the middle of it, you notice forest chorts looking at you with their cold, lifeless eyes from the reeds. The demon needs only lift his paw for the forest spirits to scramble in panic. You look at him in amazement. Was this his doing? Or do the spirits know about the power of the Black Book? The old bridge creaks from the cold wind. The cold water. You choose to avoid a needless battle and quickly cross the bridge, leaving the forest chorts behind you. The old bridge creaks from the cold. As soon as you voice your Zagavar, the chorts scramble. Can they feel your growing power? Proshka's eyes shine in the dark.
You're not what we consider an average girl, are you? In that case, I'll show you some fine wares. Here, take a look.
The old bridge creaks from the cold wind. You choose to avoid a needless battle and quickly cross the bridge, leaving the forest chorts behind you. The old bridge creaks from the cold wind, the cold water of some swampy river. As soon as you voice your Zagabur, the chorts scramble. The northern wind bends the treetops. Their rustling fills the swamps with a rhythmical noise, in which you hear the whisperings of leshis and the wings of demons flapping beneath the ground. You stop for a minute, thinking of how ancient these forests truly are. How many centuries have they stood here? How many centuries will they stand yet? Your meditations are interrupted by Proshka's grumbling. Yanidor is close.
This church looks empty now.
What a dump, right? Look at all this rotten wood. And it used to all be so fine. Don't just stand there, Vaisa. There is the door to the Undercroft. Open it! What a dump, right? Look at all this rotten wood. And it used to all... Don't just stand there, Vaisa.
Some pictures are mixed with the icons.
When you approach the old wooden planks, you feel a draft. Behind the planks, you see a narrow crawl space leading deeper underground.
It's not as simple as that. Search the chests. Perhaps you'll find something.
What am I looking for?
How would I know? Now, don't look at me like that. There are icons all over the place. It's bad for me to look at them, you know?
Behind the planks, you see a...
I've seen these idols, Vasilisa.
You've been in this dugout before?
Yes, but when? Was it long ago? Something is missing. As if one of the passes on the hunter's calendar has disappeared. Add it, and everything fits right into place.
Majestic idols of old are now lying in heaps in this dank and wet dugout. The eerie faces of the forgotten deities seem to emanate a cold draft. One of the idols is missing his carved face.
They're so majestic. The idols have river shells scattered around them.
I've seen these idols, Vasilisa.
You've been in...
Yeah, something is missing. Add it.
The idols have river shells scattered around them.
Majestic idols of old.
Were they gifts from the people?
It's not as simple as that. Search the chests.
What am I looking for?
How would I? Nah, it's bad.
An ancient wooden angel is watching you indifferently. You peer into his face, and it looks as if he's wearing a wooden mask. You touch the mask, and it falls to your feet.
Old church books. And old kitchenware.
Behind the planks, majestic idols of old are now lying.
Vasilisa, I think I remember. I remember everything. But look, what's happening to me? That's right. That's how I used to look when they called me Voipil. Hunters used to bring me river shells from the north, and I flew with the all-knowing wind with no rest and no respite.
Roshka, is that you?
Vasilisa, I remembered everything. All thanks to you.
Your name was Voipil. Who are you?
I used to be a god, the lord of the northern wind and master of the true people's destiny. Those who lived in the forests of Cherry. I was once powerful. For a time, other gods came, and belief in me dwindled. Thou shalt not worship the idol of Voipil, and thou shalt not devout funeral feasts to him. The lights of altars dwindled, and so did my powers.
Are those your idols beneath the church?
Yes, they are. It was my lost temple, this dugout. I still remember that woman. Didn't want to lose the old faith. She hid my idols and put my face on the angels. That's how I survived. As a demon, but in a halo of ecclesiastical glory.
Why all the shells?
This is my symbol, my ear. I used to be omnipresent in this area. I used to cool the ferocious flame of the sun with my wind. But that time is long gone. All that's left of is shell. Bones of the past, long forgotten.
Are those your...
Yes, I still remember. She hid my idols and put my face on the angels. But in a halo of ecclesiastical...
What will you do now?
I'll stay with you. I am in your debt. It's not like I've suddenly grown in power. The universe has been turned upside down. The gods of all that today is dead. And so did I. When people forgot about me, I forgot about myself and lost my erstwhile power. But now my past has returned, along with some of my strength. I will help you, Vasilisa. Who knows what other rebirths can I undergo?
So it turned out that our Proshka used to be a chute demon.
Jesus Christ!
Didn't expect that, Grandpa, did you? Perhaps now I'll be the one to tell you to hunt mice.
Unbelievable! I didn't think that such strong spirit would enter your service. I'm glad all the training worked out. Or is it the book? So, Now you're going to stay with us?
Well, yeah. I'll live out my cat life with Vasilisa. I found mine, now I help Vasilisa find hers.
And no nagging about mice. You might be St. George himself, but you should still do your duty. While I still have my teeth, I'm the master of this house.
Don't worry, Grandpa. I'll take care of it. Consider the mice gone.
God bless, Yegor Yevlampovich, Vasilisa Feodorovna. I came for you, Vasilisa. I'll get you to Pokcha. And you, Yegor Yevlampovich, will get to Vilgard. Get ready. I'll wait for you at the gates.
How do you like my new fur? What a glow.
I don't know how to address you now. Proshka or Voipil?
Roshka it is. I've told you that I'll stay with you until all the seals are open. You've helped me. Now it's my turn. I'm not scared of any charts. How can they possibly harm me?
What kind of spirit are you?
A chewed one. Permans believed in me in the olden days. My powers have waned. I can catch mice.
You're helping me then again.
Yeah, and my power grows because of that. So I won't leave you.
You've remembered your past, but won't you forget it all once again?
Yes, you become that what you're doing. If you'll be a Sosietka for 100 years, then you'll become one. If you wouldn't have reminded me of the past, then who knows? Maybe I would have become a hairy old man then in another 100. Enough of this Sosietka business. When you'll free your guy, I go back to mountains. I will fly around like a free northern wind. I won't forget a thing that way.
You reach the bride's izba with the light of dawn. The changeling girl sits under the icons and starts a long ritual of saying farewell to the maidenly headband. The bridesmaids chant, Uzhyasyaduka, Maladyosh.
So it turned out that our Proshka...
Did
What? And while I
don't
There's a great number of books in this collection. Illuminated books of old as well. Black books are not kept here, however. They're in a secret...
God bless, Yegor Yevlampovich, Vasilisa Feodorovna. I came for you, Vasilisa. I'll get you to Pokcha. And you, Yegor Yevlampovich, will get to Vilgard. Get ready. I'll wait for you at the gates.
How do you like?
Don't know how...
How can they possibly?
You're-
Yeah, and
You've-
if you wouldn't have... And now I won't forget.
You reach the bride's izba with the light of dawn. The changeling girl sits under the icons and starts a long ritual of saying farewell to the maidenly headband. The bridesmaids chant, Uzhyasyaduka, Maladyoshenka. The bride hands out red satin ribbons to everyone. The bride gives the prettiest one to you. The ritual drags on, and the guests have yet to arrive. The sounds of the last wailings quiet down close to the evening. The bridesmaids begin dressing the bride in the wedding gown, and you decide to look once more for cursed items in the yard while waiting for the guests. You go down into the yard. It looks empty and grim without wedding guests. Not surprising. This roof was home to an evil spirit for many years. You jump from a sudden rustling. You think you heard it coming from one of the haystacks, but which one? There was some noise coming from this haystack. Or was it that haystack? Two dark figures emerge from the shadows.
Aha! We've caught a witch!
Oh, it's Vasilisa.
This isn't a fairy tale. What if I took you for an evil spirit?
Sorry, Vasya. We were trying to ambush an evil Khaldun, not...
Someone has been here for sure. We've been watching all night and saw it. He sneaked in and planted an ikota on the wedding.
Oh, Christ in heaven! Not an ikota!
It's alright. I'll protect you. Khalduns have no business cursing weddings.
What Khaldun did you see?
He sneaked in at night. Satan himself, I swear by God.
The gates opened by themselves, and the Arden seals were flying around.
Means Chorts were...
And he himself didn't look like a Khaldun. He was dressed as a townsperson.
He started to whisper. It was so fast and so... It was so dark. We almost couldn't...
She likely won't find it by herself.
Stop whistling.
This flute must be good against the Khalduns.
So he ran, and we decided to change our hiding spot in case he'd be back. And you came.
What did that Khaldun do?
He whispered a lot and did something with his hands.
I think he was scattering cursed items.
We'll help you find them, Vasya.
She likely won't find it by herself.
All right, Petka, look in this haystack for a peapod with 9 peas. You and I'll search the yard. All clear?
Clear. He likely won't find it without us.
All right, Vasilisa.
Well, have you found anything?
Hold your horses. I'm still looking.
Beer. Leftovers from yesterday.
The chest contains snowy white bed sheets for the newlyweds. They must be given to the house of the groom once you go to the Izba.
Found any pods? Or anything suspicious?
Oh, not yet. I definitely will, Vasilisa. Wait a bit.
You closely inspect the floor. To your horror, you find a patch of burned dog hair. You remove it with a zagavar and throw it away. Petka suddenly calls out to you.
Vasya, Vasya, I found it, I think.
I too found some traces of the curse. You and I both have some. That's a lot. What do you have, Akulina?
Huh.
Well, it doesn't matter if you don't have any.
I found some, Vasya. Also a pod.
Quite a few curses. Powerful Khaldun is involved here.
The children look at each other worrisomely.
Give me those pods. Who knows what else is our enemy capable of?
You jump from the sudden knock at the gates. The children run inside the house, screaming. After several minutes of bargaining, you open the gates.
Go get your bride upstairs. I need to speak to the Master of Ceremonies.
You seem alarmed, Vasilisa.
I found so many cursed things right now. Someone powerful is trying to curse this wedding.
You tell old Yegor about your discoveries.
You can't stop the wedding now.
But why? Wait, I'll tell Nikolai.
Old Yegor forcefully grabs your arm.
Hold there. Do you want to spoil their wedding? If you stop the procession right now, their whole life could go sideways.
Yes, but what if we're stopped on our way down the aisle? No one knows how all these curses turn out.
That's your task, Matchmaker, to guard the procession against it. If it stops, then yes, only God knows what will happen. Don't bother the betrothed. Do your job. And I will do mine. We'll teach Fedka.
All right, Grandpa.
Let's go. We need to bless them on their way.
All the guests gather in the Izba. After the blessings...
This girl sure is lucky, right?
Yes, you can return from another world. She wouldn't have done it by herself. We helped her. So is the case with the other dead. They can't get back by themselves.
So Kolya wouldn't pull her out without you, right?
Without me or Grandpa, unlikely.
You know, I've been thinking. In a way, you also pulled me out from the grave. If you didn't come that night to the pothouse, Shorts would have killed me.
Yes, I think that's how it happened.
I've heard what the girls in Vilgard have been saying. That you didn't want to become a witch. But you did become one, right? And so I've been thinking, you did it to help your betrothed.
Why would you think that?
You and your grandpa are taking me for a fool, but I see lots of things. The dead men can't go back by themselves, right? I visited lots of evening gatherings. I saw how much you loved him. So I think you decided. Vasya, stop this nonsense. Nothing good will come of it. You brought back that girl, but she never died. She was kidnapped, right? I was quite close to being dead, but she betrothed. Is dead. Buried.
Quit running your mouth. You don't understand anything.
Wait, don't be angry. I'm not joking. I came close to seeing the afterlife. There's no coming back from there, and your chords constantly beg you for a walk, right? So how many people have you cursed already?
Not so many.
What's next? Sooner or later, they'll get hungrier and hungrier and start dragging our souls to the grave. I've listened closely to many stories. Your church will also drag you to hell, along with who knows how many peasants.
You may be right. The Chorts constantly ask for work. If I give them some slack, they'll ruin everything they see. What else can I do? You're saying my Chorts will be the death of me. You can't know my fate, and you don't know his fate.
That's right. I don't. But I decided to make my own fate. You have your fate. You heard the Troika, so that's your fate. Maybe it wasn't a trick, but I have it differently. You remember how I stole from the shop? It wasn't the first time. I've done lots of similar things. I think maybe I should quit this kind of life. Start a household. I know it's not as fun or exciting. You saved me. So I wanted to ask your advice. You were nowhere after all. What do you think?
You have your own life, Fetka. It may be better than the rest of ours. For instance, I'm a nowhere. We also make our own life. Don't you fall in the rut.
Well, if you think of it this way, you might be just right, Vaisa.
Fedka grins. Pakcha village is surrounded by mist, and the road to Vilgard lies ahead of you.
This girl sure is lucky, right?
She wouldn't without.
But she would. I've listened closely to many.
Don't judge Khaldoons by the old wife's tales. I'm keeping my chorts in check. You're saying my chorts will be the death of me. You can't know my fate, and you don't know his fate.
That's right. I don't. But I decided to make my own fate. You have your fate. You heard the Troika, so that's your fate. Maybe it wasn't a trick, but I have it differently. You remember how I stole from the shop? It wasn't the first time. I've done lots of... I think maybe I should quit this kind of life. Start a household. I know it's not as fun or exciting. You saved me. So I wanted to ask your advice. You were nowhere after all. What do you think?
Well, Fyetka, I've always told you to abandon your life of pleasure.
All right, I'll try. Next thing...
You bet.
I will.
Fedka grins and flings the reins.
This girl sure is lucky.
So without... Yeah.
But what? I've listened closely to many stories.
Don't judge Khaldoons by the old wife's tales. I'm keeping my chorts in check. You're saying my chorts will be the death of me. You can't know my fate, and you don't know his fate.
That's right. I think you saved me. So I wanted...
You have your own life, Fyetka. It might be better than the rest of ours. For instance, I'm a knower. We also make our own life. Don't you fall in the rut.
Well, if you think of it this way, you might be just right, Vasa.
Fedka grins and flings the reins. Pakcha village is surrounded by mist, and the road to Vilgurt lies ahead of you. You think that if someone wanted this wedding ruined, he wouldn't be stopped this easily. You look around anxiously and prepare for the worst. The winding path lures you in with a damp mist and mysterious shadows. What spirits hide behind it? Soon, you get to Cold Creek Ford. Yours and the bride's carts cross the water with a splash, but the third cart isn't so lucky. One of the wheels hits a stone, and all its passengers fall overboard. You look around and notice demon eyes in the dark. Fedka gives you a questioning look. What should you do with the rest of the guests? You hop off the cart and open the black book. Fedka passes the reins and hops off too. You need to depart as soon as possible so as not to fall behind the wedding procession. The musician... The winding path lures you in with it. You look around and notice demon... You hold the horses and give a lift to several nimble guests. The older and slower ones are lost in the mist. The winding path lures you in. You look around and you hop off the cart and open... The cart is finally fixed, and you quickly catch up to the procession. The peasants didn't see the Chorts, but they noticed you whispering Zagavers. Now they are looking at you and your book with respect. The wedding train reaches the shadows of the gloomy trees of the Crooked Forest. Strange sounds escape the evening darkness. It appears the mysterious Khaldoon cursed this road as well. Your suspicions prove correct. Although you have known this forest since you were a child, the road meets a fork that you have no memory of. Looks like the turn on the right is used more often than the one to the left. You don't recognize the last fork either. The road to the left looks like it's submerged in darkness, and you see some moonlight above the road to the right. You arrive at another fork. The road to the left lies through a thick forest, and to the right, you see a clearing amongst the trees. Finally, the forest is behind you. Vilgurt is close, so you decide to take a break. Mikhail's crossroads look unfamiliar. You feel as if you have entirely lost your sense of direction. You can't tell north from south. It's as if you are standing at this crossroads for the first time. You decide to resort to sorcery. You quickly whisper the words of the Zagaver and listen. You chose the right way. You make no mistake in choosing the road. This task is right down your alley. The road to Vilgurt passes by uneventfully, and you have a chance to rest. Looks like this is the last piece of the road to the Church of the Trinity.
Vasilisa, stop the procession!
Alexander, we can't. It's a bad omen.
I suppose I can hide it now. No time to argue. I intend to curse your wedding procession, and I'm willing to see it through.
What? Are you telling me that everything you do is based on science?
I can leave it be, but only if you give me the book.
But why do you need to ruin the wedding?
It's simple. I can take this artifact only if you're sufficiently weakened.
If the procession stops, the curse may splash out. Only God knows what should happen then.
Right. You're only saying this so I wouldn't interfere. No such thing will happen.
Listen to me. This is dangerous. Very dangerous.
You can't scare me, Vasilisa. Either give me the book or the procession stops.
So that's how it is in your world. Always playing pretend. You could have helped me with the snake that time.
I wanted to, but you were doing fine on your own, and I wanted to see what kind of witch you were. I did. I think you're as powerful as me. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just need the book.
You know about this? What do you need it for? What are you planning?
Don't stall, Vasilisa. Fight me.
Listen. Let me wed this couple, and then we can fight. Why involve the bride and groom?
You won't trick me, Vasilisa. I came especially prepared for this fight. Now when there's a curse around us, we are equal.
I can't give you the book, you know that.
Then it's the only way. Défense-toi! smoke, Vasilisa, and the guests will be safe.
They have nothing to fear. I'll protect the wedding.
don't want to hurt you, Vasilisa. Not if I don't have to.
You've been lying like the devil himself, and now you want me to believe you?
Give up, or the entire wedding procession will be transformed.
Not if I stop.
Alexander's driver notices that his master is weakened and strikes the horses. The carriage drives away. With horror, you realize that his last Zagavers weren't directed at you, but at the procession. The horses lose their footing, and the first carts overturn with a terrible crash. The world around you turns into a cacophony of screams, both animal and human. Alexander's curse hits the weakened wedding procession and slices through it. Some of the wedding guests turn into wolves and run into the forest. Others have lost consciousness or are injured from the crash. You notice old Yegor and run towards him. Several Zagavers later, and your mentor comes to his senses.
Grandpa! Grandpa, you're alive?
Vasilisa! Oh, Jesus, my head hurts.
Wait, I'll whisper a bit.
No time. What's happened to the procession? Was it cursed after all?
Yes, many of the guests were turned to wolves.
So they were. I wasn't seeing straight. I saw how Fedka was turning.
I'll get that, Alexander. Oh, but what should we do now?
Shush, don't whine. There's no time to think about that lad now. First, we fix the wedding. That's all right. You'll catch the wolves and heal them. Next thing you know, the seal will be broken.
How will I find them? Even my chorts may not be able to find the cursed.
We'll find them. I have this old friend of mine, a hunter. He will track them. Find out who's missing and fix up the wounded. Then we'll get ready for the road.
How did they turn into wolves? No one has heard of such thing for 100 years or more.
Well, your friend there cast a strong curse, and then you were right. Fedka is not very knowledgeable for a best man.
How do I lift the curse?
You need special herb, Cuckoo's Tears. It grows deep in the forest, in the Leshy's domain.
So Fedka turned also?
Yes, there is his accordion. At first I thought I was seeing things.
What do we do with the bride and groom now?
They'll manage. I'll teach them a couple of secret prayers.
Who's that friend of yours?
Just a hunter. I'll tell you at home. Ready to go back. You can barely stand upright.
Your friend, the Ikotnitsa, is lying here. Akulina has lost consciousness. It seems the girl is hurt. Akulina comes to her senses and with difficulty stands on her feet.
Oh, Vasya, have you healed me?
Akulina, you're alive. Oh, Lord, oh, Jesus.
She's going to be all right now. Akulina, have you noticed where the wolves went?
I haven't. I don't remember anything since I fell. I can't see Piotr anywhere. He must have been turned too.
Your mother will bring you home. Rest there.
All right, Vasya.
Vasilisa, my head is dizzy. Where is Nikolai?
I can't see him. Listen.
He's also been transformed. I seem to be destined to go return to evil spirits.
Don't lose hope. I'll go after him and the rest of the guests. I know I failed at protecting the wedding, but I'll try to fix it.
Looks like you were right about Fetka. I should have listened to you.
He's not the one who ruined the wedding. That was another Khaldun. That's all right. I'll deal with him. As soon as I get Nikolai back, you'll make it to the church. I'll set your life straight.
I hope that God will help you, Vasilisa.
A wounded peasant girl is lying in the grass. Looks like she's lost consciousness. The girl thanks you with a weak voice, but then loses her senses again. At least her life isn't at risk.
All the cards have turned over. Some of them are broken.
Thank you, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. I'll pray for you.
Did you notice where the wolves ran?
Somewhere in the direction of Pakcha. They hid in the forest straight away. I barely had any time to look. I only noticed that several of the bridesmaids turned. The horror! I've heard of such things, but never thought we'd witness it.
Some horses have fled. Only the bravest of them all have stayed.
Ready to go back. You can barely stand. Vasilisa, get up. It's morning already. We need to hurry while the wolf tracks are still fresh. I told you yesterday about my friend, the hunter. He is a master of his craft. He can track any beast.
These aren't exactly beasts.
And the hunters aren't exactly simple folk. This one is called Ayrat, a smart man. Lives near Cherding.
You think he'll help me?
He will. When you meet him, tell him I sent you. We had a deal. I give him the stuff, and he owes me one.
How do I find the guests?
You and Ayrat will follow the tracks.
I also need to talk to Alexander.
No point. He must have fled. If I were him, I would stay away from you.
You're right, Grandpa. The moment we took on the next seal, the wolves showed up. As if the devil himself arranged it.
I don't know. If anyone helps us, it must be some power from above. Satan can only spoil things, and forces of light wouldn't curse a wedding. Mysterious are his ways. Who knows? Who knows?
You think I can break the curse with the wedding guests?
Only you can find it out.
Where can I find your friend?
Ayrat lives close to Cherding. You'll learn about him in the town, in the hunting shop there. It's summer now, so he shouldn't be wandering in the woods. To cure the wolves, look for a cuckoo's tears herb. You should, and above all, don't forget the seal.
All right, Grandpa.
Greetings, kind host. We bear gifts, a fine rooster for you, which should prove useful for the household.
Greetings. Come sit by the table. Need any help?
Oh, we have a disaster on our hands in our village of Klepnikova. Oh, the things that have happened. We must have made Aleshi angry. Yesterday, a shepherd was looking after our cattle, and a pack of wolves jumped him. Scared halfway to death he was. They wanted to kill him along with the animals, but he threw his accordion at them. He wants to be a musician, and a wolf tore at it instead. The man ran as fast as he could. He barely made it.
I think I can deal with that pack.
Then there is this strange thing. One of the wolves, our shepherd has a sharp eye, was wearing a jacket. Holy Mother, Lord Jesus!
All right. I'll help.
Oh, thank you, mistress. I won't forget it.
Half the village has gathered in front of yesterday's bride. The peasants are violently knocking on the gates. Looks like you've come just in time. The situation is getting hotter with every minute.
Come out, Agafia! Bring out your girl, that cursed witch!
I'll beat her so hard she'll bring our kin back right away. I heard it's a potent remedy.
Why have you gathered here? It's late. Go back to your homes.
Who are you, girl?
She's a witch from Vilgard. Don't expect kindness from her.
Well, let's beat her first. That'll probably remove the curse from the wedding guests.
Stop. There are no guilty people here. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Never trust a witch. That's what my pa used to say.
It seems that the peasants are hostile. How can I convince them otherwise? You want to beat me? I alone can help you. And the bride? You think she wanted to curse her own groom? She wanted to get married as soon as possible. Why would she hurt her guests? She didn't transform the procession. Some man did it. Many people saw it. Ask those who weren't turned.
All right. We believe you this time. But you better bring back my son.
I'm going to lift the curse. Soon
After discussing your arguments, the peasants disperse. One old lady even blesses you and gives you some milk. The bride opens the gates and thanks you for your help. While hurrying to Vilgard, you walk onto the main road and see a dark whirlwind coming your way. In a moment, you realize it to be a short swarm and open the black book. The last Chort disappears into black flames. You can only wonder who set this swarm upon you. There's a drop near the road. It's notorious for the stories told of it. They say two bandits killed each other here in a dispute over money. They were both buried here. They say the reason for their fight is still at the bottom of this ravine. It smells of rot and graveyard dampness at the bottom. You find 3 old graves here. You whisper a prayer and catch your breath. Even the bandits deserve peace. There's a drop near the road. It's notorious for it smells of rot and graveyard. You turn up some stones in search of the promised treasures. Unfortunately, you don't find even a single ruble, but you have disturbed the spirits. You carefully move along the silent street, looking at the carved windows of the rich houses. Suddenly, you hear 2 muffled voices coming from the town's cemetery.
At least I remember you, right, Ilya?
When will you stop already, you spawn of the devil? What if the left one and the right one pop up? What then, huh?
Well, they surely won't. They've forgotten about you. I've asked around you.
Damn. I wish I couldn't see you for a century or so.
That's what I'm talking about. Precisely a century is almost up. And we've been doing so well together. I didn't even touch you. Wait. I smell something.
You decide to stay and listen to the end of the conversation.
You didn't give me quarter, though, did you? I told you. Count the dust, the pine leaves, and you? It's all about cursing someone for you.
And how would you curse weddings without me, huh?
Yeah, those were the days. I stopped processions, all right, and transformed wedding guests. Only I'm going to hell for this.
I saved you from the inferno, didn't I? Just lie here quietly in your grave. Later with that, I smell something foul. A live one. Look, a witch is eavesdropping on us.
Well, we'll scrug her now, won't we?
There's a winding trail that leads through the gloomy woods to the place where cattle graze. For some reason, people call it a road. You cautiously look around and suddenly hear muted growling from the shadows. Could it be your imagination? You step inside the inky shadows and look around. It's silent. and only the branches whisper something to the cold wind. There's a winding trail that leads through the gloomy woods to the place. You draw a circle and open the book. Minutes pass, but only the empty night surrounds you. At least you had some practice. The bank is wrapped in a slippery fog. You look into the milky veil, expecting to see running wolf shadows, but notice only the swirls of the slippery haze. After looking around, you notice some wolf tracks on the sand, and the tracks are leading east and are lost in the forest fog. You follow them for some time, but you finally lose them, along with your sense of direction. Suddenly, the bank is wrapped in a slippery fog. You look into the milky veil. The tracks are leading east and are lost in the forest fog. You follow them for some time, but you finally lose them, along with your sense of direction. Suddenly, the bank is wrapped in a slippery fog. You look. This instrument obviously went through the paws of some wild beast. Its body is scratched with claws, and the bellows are torn to shreds. In the grills of the instrument, you find a broken wolf tooth. Even after sunset, the town is boiling with activity. The shops and stalls are open. Your eyes are dragged towards high stone domes and merchant houses almost against your will. You soon find a hunting shop old Yegor was telling you about.
Low prices. Come and see. Buy some herbs and other goods I've brought.
The wisdom that lies upon...
Looks like the shop is closed.
We didn't see you at Mr. Nikolsky's house yesterday. Did something happen?
Oh, right. The Dvorovoys have lost the key, and I was left without a dress at the last possible moment. I couldn't afford to show up like some kind of unkempt peasant girl now, could I? What are you looking at, girl? By whose orders are you here?
I accidentally overheard your conversation. I can help. Even if the key is lost, there's a popular remedy. I can give the right herb to those Cherden women. What was that herb that opened locks? Here, press this break herb onto the lock and it will open.
Open the lock with an herb? Are you jesting?
Wait, an elver helped my servants one time. He also used a herb. Surprisingly, it helped. Everything is possible nowadays. Have you heard how the spiritual sense of Mr. S went?
Yes, really. Thank you for your help. I've heard of the potential of folk remedies, but I wouldn't think it would be applicable to locks. Here, buy yourself a pryanik.
You question the townswomen about your acquaintance.
I know who you're talking about. This family is definitely of means.
I heard he's the sole heir.
I think their family estate is somewhere in the suburbs.
The players are carried away by a game of... A couple of tiny chorts are sitting on the drunkard's left shoulder, perhaps they're to blame for his present state. This puny thing isn't worth a Zagavur. The moment you touch your book, the demons disappear, muttering angrily. The peasant, it seems, has started to breathe more steadily.
By the Cherden Daily comes with a calendar. The state councillor publishes the paper but doesn't let it out. I've gotten hold of some on your behalf and I'll sell one to you for less than a half.
What's the Cherden Daily?
The latest news from across the West. It's cheap. Buy one. I might not be here tomorrow. Buy it now. You won't get any poorer. The state councillor publishes the paper but doesn't let it out. I've gotten hold of some on your behalf and I'll sell one to you for less than a half.
Mr. Fairbanks? I need to question you about one of your buyers.
I don't care what you need.
A hunter had to buy supplies from you. His name is Irad.
A peasant girl doesn't belong here. Phew, phew.
You hold out a handful of coins. Looks like the merchant is ready to help you now. It's a pity he hasn't become less arrogant.
All right. I'll tell you about your hunter, but leave me alone. Irad lives on the edge of Cherden in the east. I haven't seen him in my shop for a long time. I don't know why you would need him, and I don't care. I think he's finished hunting. Well, don't just stand here in front of the shop. You've learned what you need, so go.
Even after sunset, the town is boiling with activity.
Mr. Fairbanks?
A peasant girl doesn't belong.
You curse.
How do you feel, Mr. Fairbanks? Are you well?
I can deal with you now. All right. I'll tell you about your hunter, but leave me alone. Irad lives on the edge of Cherden in the east. I haven't seen him in my shop for a long time. I don't know why you would need him, and I don't care. I think he's finished hunting. Well, don't just stand here in front of the shop. You've learned what you need, so go.
Wait! Don't open your mouth, don't count the...
What's the
I might not be here tomorrow. Bye.
A couple of tiny chorts are sitting on the drunkard's left shoulder, perhaps they're to blame for his present state.
We didn't see it. Oh, what are you looking at, girl?
I can give the right herb here.
Here, buy yourself a pryanik.
You question the town...
I think their family status...
I need to...
Low prices, buy some herbs and other...
Looks like the shop is closed.
Wisdom will enter your heart and be good for you.
Lost among the gloomy outline of pines at the forest's edge. The trees look like stern guardians, standing watch over the grim secrets of the forest.
God bless.
Salam. Who are you?
I'm a granddaughter of Igor Churov, a knower from Vilgard.
Vasilisa. Long time no see. I remember when you were this tall. Well, what brings you here?
Grandpa told me you've known each other for a long time. So you know me as well.
I saw you when I visited Igor. You were little then. They didn't call him Old Igor then.
Did he help you?
He did. But all was not well. It's a long story.
I came for help. I need to go to the forest, track the wolves.
The wolves, you say?
You tell him about the events of the wedding.
It so happens that I know. I'll help you. I've known Shuralev for a long time. I'll guide you through the forest.
You think the Liashe is to blame? But how will we find the wolf?
We will, Alabirga, we will. The wolves are gathering in the pack. They'll need a leader. The tracks are leading to Pelud, so we'll go there. I was thinking, where did so many wolves come from? It turns out it's your doing.
This man is to blame, Alexander.
I hear, but he failed to protect. Now your wolves are running amok. They wounded my falcon. They could start attacking people. We need to hurry.
You're hunting with a falcon? I don't remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it's a rare skill. So what now? The curse is passed on to him, but the bite is a weak one.
Let me have a look at your bird.
The wound has almost closed, but the falcon looks bad. You feel the traces of the curse on the wound.
The falcon needs a herb, but which one would be good for a curse? It's a herb. I don't think we can manage without this herb. You need Peter's Cross. I think we can find it nearby.
You search the closest glades, and soon find the herb you seek, Several Zagavers, and the falcon is cured.
Thank Allah. Thank you, Vasilisa. Igor didn't study you in vain. Take it. I know the feather will be useful in a sorcery.
We need to hurry. They could scatter, and then we won't be able to find them.
It seems some of them are going towards the hunter. Be careful.
Several wolf-like figures emerge from the forest. The beasts do not waste any time for their attack. The wounded beasts retreat with fangs bared. With the help of a few old Zagavers, one of the attackers turns into a human. The rest of the beasts, who were ordinary wolves, hide in the forest. You feel the power that fills the Black Book. The seal is still intact, but you're on the right path.
Allah, it's true. He turned back.
What's going on? Have you drank too much?
I wish that were the case. You had a curse on you. Now you're safe. Go.
Good. Thank you, Vasilisa.
We saved one. How many are left?
Yes, we need to stock up on herbs to break the curse.
You can find the herbs all over the forest. Let's rest a bit and get going. Follow me. I have a samovar ready. It's better to go in the dark. We may not be able to find werewolves during the daytime.
Did Grandpa help you in the past?
There was this incident with Shorade, but I wasn't able to give this chart his due. Maybe it's for the better that you showed up. With the Nowhere, we'll be able to track the Leshy.
I need a magic herb. Do you know where they can grow?
To the east of Kolva, all the forests are old, all with masters. That means you'll find your herb there.
How will we search for wedding guests?
We'll follow their tracks. Alaberga will track down every one of them. Looks like they went to Palutstone. We'll find them there.
Several steps over old moss are enough for the constant murmur of fir branches to cover you entirely. Before you, you see the rotting wooden frames of an abandoned village. You think to yourself, is this the fate of everything on this earth? A circle made of meadow flowers is in the middle of the village. Accompanied by a cold wind, the old secrets the grim fir branches speak of causes the white petals of cuckoo's tears to shiver with fear. You whisper. In the corners of the abandoned rooms, you see stoves like stone dead men. You peek into one izba and then into another. The village is abandoned by people and spirits alike. On the road, you see a wooden whistle. It belongs to Petka. It looks like you're on the right path. Ayrat notices a wolf footprint among the rotten boards and impassable nettle. He says a lot of beasts have come through here recently. The path leads to the east. You also see some pieces of cloth. These are the cursed wolves. Ayrat leads you along the wolf tracks. Sometimes he lets his falcon fly, and it seems to help him stay on the right path. The moss under your feet grumbles with every step. Shadows peer out from among the gloomy pines. Or could it be you're just seeing invisible spirits among the rustling branches? The hunter looks around intensely and proposes to continue the journey. He makes hints about the Leshy and spits. After making mention of this spirit, your guide starts to nervously look around at the surrounding darkness. Ayrat leads you along the wolf tracks. You step sideways from the path the hunter leads you along and hear a warning shout. But it's... Ayrat leads you along the wolf tracks. Sometimes he lets his falcon any danger in the deep of the forest where man's power is insignificant could prove fatal. You stop the hunter and draw a circle. Fir needles rustle in the dark. No demons show up. In the trembling light of the dying fire, you see a fisherman fighting a wolf pack. He tries to get away on a boat, fighting the beasts with his oar. A wolf manages to close his teeth on the man's arm. The iron scent of the blood excites the wolves even more. Another beast grabs the bag with the fishing utensils. Finally, the man manages to get away from the shore. The wolf pack disappears into the trees following the boat. You find several copper coins among the scattered things. In the trembling light of the dying fire, you see a fish... rest of the wolves scatter. Looks like there were no werewolves among them. The grateful fisherman gives you all his money and his evening catch. After that, he crosses himself and bows to Palyut. He assumes it was him who brought you. A gloomy river has slowly filled this glade, turning it into a rotting sore. You notice a black figure that jumps from hillock to hillock, all along the way, twitching in a strange manner. Your blood runs cold. This battle in the swamp may prove to be your last, and so you walk around the swamp and hide under the forest fringe. A gloomy river has slowly filled this greedy swamp sludge grabs onto you when you try to catch up to the strange shadow. It's a werewolf. You call out to the wolf, but he only glances at you before disappearing into the trees. One more step. You're very close. Shaggy fir trees are hugging a roughly built house, as if they are trying to close up a wound on the mossy bed of the forest. This izba is usually empty in the summer, but Ayrat notices human footprints leading to the ravine. You are able to find some cuckoo's tears flowers and pick them while reading Zagavers. The tracks lead to a foggy ravine and disappear near its edge. You stop in hesitation. Are they worth following? Hunters often store supplies in case of a rainy day. Likewise, in this izba, you find a bark box with canned goods. You stealthily put the supplies in your bag. A slimy fog flows at the bottom of this ravine. First, you hear hissing, and then a man emerges from the dark. Living snakes slither up and down his staff. He's dragging a whining wolf with red eyes on a chain.
God helps.
God helps. Let the wolf go. It's no ordinary beast.
I'm not playing games with you, girl. I can see that you are a knower yourself. These werewolves is my prey. So if you want to leave here alive, don't stand in my way.
Listen, give me this werewolf and I will lift his curse. Why do you want him anyway?
Lift the curse. So what? As soon as he entered my ravine, I saw by his eyes that he was a werewolf. I'll lift the curse myself as soon as we get to the village. And his relatives will reward me for that. And if I make him human now, I'll have to watch over him. If he's on a chain like this, he'll run there by himself.
So you want a reward? Will you accept it from my hands?
Why not? I have the herbs I need right here. Do you have rubbles?
Be it as you wish.
The Khaldun tosses you the chain and the magic herb, after which he disappears into the fog. You lift the curse from the werewolf and feel the fourth seal cracking. You're on the right track.
Vasilisa, what happened? Where are we?
You were turned into a wolf, and then a snake Khaldun nearly took you.
You tell the girl about the recent events and help her get to the road leading to Pakcha. After that, you continue along your way. The closer you are to Palyut, the grimmer the hunter becomes. This is also reflected in the falcon. The bird becomes weaker, as if its malady is returning. The wolf path leads you to the naked bones of the Palyut stone. Ayrat points to the mountain. The werewolves went in that direction. He stops mid-sentence. You see two creatures between the trees. You can't make them out clearly in the dark. A wolf and a tall man walks between the opening branches. A beast following him obediently turns out to be only a cub. You can make out leftover human clothes. It is a boy that you know, Petka. If he dies in wolf form, he will also die as a human. You can't afford to miss your mark. The man strides on, and you try to follow him. It seems for a moment the werewolf recognizes you, but after the stranger's touch, his eyes become those of a beast again.
Wait, isn't that cursed Petka?
God helps. Who are you?
The man looks at you sullenly and doesn't say a word. You don't feel the presence of demons, and he doesn't look like a Leshy.
Let the wolf cub go. It's not a beast. You hear me?
The man doesn't pay you any attention and walks on.
Petka, it's me, Vasilisa. Remember?
The cub looks at you, but doesn't recognize you. There's nothing human in his eyes.
Maybe I can remind Petka that he's not a wolf. Petka, what's wrong? Look, there's still some clothes on you.
The closer you are to Palyut, the grimmer a tall man walks between you. The man strides on, and you try to follow. It seems...
Wait, isn't that cursed Petka?
God,
the man doesn't pay...
Petka, maybe I can remind Petka that he's not a wolf. Look what I found, Petka. Don't you want to banish some Khalduns?
The cub runs to you sheepishly. The stranger watches Petka with gloomy eyes, but doesn't try to stop him. You leave the stranger alone. He's about to disappear into the trees, but Ayrat blocks his way. The stranger raises his furry fists and gets ready for a fight. When you feel that you've won the battle, the stranger runs away towards Palyud with inhuman speed. He leaves the wolf cub behind.
Ah, damn, he escaped.
What are you doing? Why did you attack the man?
I had to make sure it wasn't Aleshi. It turned out to be just that.
Doesn't look like it. But even if it were the case, attacking Aleshi in the forest? Are you crazy?
I have my own score to settle with him. Let's camp here. We need to catch her breath.
The Bashkir frowns and starts to make a fire. All that's left for you is to deal with Petka. You approach the werewolf boy. His eyes are silently begging you for help. You perform the ritual, and the wolf cub turns into Petka. The boy loses consciousness. You lay him in your camp and catch your breath.
Where are we? I can't remember. It's hard to speak. Seems unfamiliar.
Have you seen other wedding guests?
I can't remember. It's like it was all in a fog, as if they were running. Nikolai was there, beside me. We were back in here, as if called by someone. We ran as fast as we could. That's how we were separated. Then I met an old man. He took me. The others are still near. I still feel it.
How do you feel?
I can't remember. I used to live in a village, not in the forest, right? How much time has passed? A lot?
The boy stares at the flames without blinking. It seems that he is lost in his thoughts.
Who was that man with you?
The old man. He was bringing me home. I was following him. I heard everything in the forest with them. We heard you too. A kind old man he was.
You weren't very surprised by the spirit.
It's not my first day in the forest. I've seen things.
So now we climb the mountain?
The werewolves are running to the pack leader, the master of this mountain. I know the way. I'll guide you. Rest now.
Who was that man? He doesn't look like a Chort.
This was Shurale from Palud. Who else? I would recognize him in any form. Werewolves run towards him. If knowers of priests don't turn them back, they stay wild beasts for life. A person due to me disappeared once, and old Yegor helped me to make a charter. The Leshri didn't give her back anyway. He took her for himself. He, by Palud. That means it was him. He was afraid to show himself to me. Now we're going to track him down.
Was it long ago that old Yegor helped you?
Long ago. You were still little. When the charter didn't help, we went searching by ourselves. We found my wife, but it was too late.
We're getting close. I say this with all my divinating Susietka authority.
Can you divine anything else?
Nah, I've always been bad at foretelling. Who is? The other Susietkas are also guessing, and they usually off the mark. Don't worry, Vasya. We'll help you and yours. Still, you should stock up on Cuckoo's tears.
Seek me out, girl, and I will grant you knowledge. I can help you gain a better grasp of your book and all the wisdom contained within.
After several hours of rest, you go on your way. Among the forests, at the foot of Palud, you almost forget that Cherdin is somewhere near. This forest looks like it was born at the dawn of time. Your thoughts return to the wedding. Could you do something to prevent Alexander from doing this? Or was this all predetermined by fate? Evil spirits pull you out of your thoughts. You see their burning eyes among the trees. witching forces near one of the old pines. You look up. Its branches reach to the skies, and it seems like they have no end, reaching to the top of the world. By the tree roots, you make out a trail of blood leading east. By the tree roots, you make out a trail of blood leading east. You come closer to the tree. Its heavy branches hide you from the outer world. You feel that you have entered an ancient place of an alien power. You follow your witch's sense and study the old pine tree. Among the old roots, you find an ancient bronze figurine looking like a man with a moose head. You sense strong sorcery coming from this item. The hunter says the pack caught a mighty moose here. They dragged it somewhere to the east. The hunter says the pack caught a mighty moose here. They dragged it somewhere to the east. You smell blood as moonlight shines over the wolves gorging themselves in a wild feast. Some of the beasts have red eyes. There's a werewolf in this pack, but it looks like he hasn't been allowed to the prey yet. The sated wolves don't interfere with you when you approach the werewolf. You start to whisper the ritual words, but quickly realize that you can't bring back a werewolf who has tried animal food. The beast tries to bite you, and you jerk your hand away. Judging by the remains of clothing, it's one of the bridesmaids. You smell blood as moonlight shines. The pack senses your smell and surrounds you in anticipation of defending their prey. You take a deep breath. You cannot kill the werewolf. When the frightened remnants of the wolf pack disappear behind the trees, you take a step towards the werewolf. You perform the ritual, and the wolf turns into a bridesmaid. As soon as you lift the curse, you feel the fourth seal cracking. You're on the right path.
Where am I? Everything is in a fog.
I came in time. If you had eaten anything, then...
You tell the girl what happened, and help her get to the path leading to Pakcha, after which you go on your way. Ayrat continues to lead you along the tracks. Soon, the path is surrounded by overhanging trees that look like church walls. In a couple of steps, your way is blocked by a wall of tangled branches. Ayrat frowns and pulls out his axe. You insist on finding another way, and the Bashkir reluctantly agrees. Before getting back on the path, you spend a lot of time and strength. Ayrat continues to lead you along the tracks. Soon, the path is surrounded by overhanging trees that look like church walls. In a couple of steps, your way is... Ayrat clears the path, and you continue on your way. You hear the gentle gurgling of a creek nearby, as well as the steady sighing of branches. You can feel evil spirits. Ahead, on a stone, a rusalka is combing her slimy hair.
Travelers, come closer. You can rest here after your long journey.
Don't try your black arts on us. We are Khaldoons ourselves.
It seems that Ayrat has succumbed to sorcery. He steps towards the undead. You grab his sleeve and whisper a Zagaver. The sorcery vanishes. The Rusalka hisses in anger.
Why are you here, you Khaldoons?
Wait! Don't be angry. We need to get to the top. We're not going to spoil your creek.
Yes, this is my creek. Mine. You want to pass? Pledge a sacrifice to me. Then I'll let you pass. And tell you about the treasure. The other knower left it here, not far away.
What kind of sacrifice do you want?
I know churches ask you Khaldoons for jobs. Let one of them bring a man to me. As you can see, I only wish for some company.
Be it as you wish. I'll order my chort to bring someone.
You lie, witch! You can't lie to me near my creek. You yourself will become the sacrifice, as well as your friends.
You're not getting any more sacrifices, dear.
You smell blood as moonlight shines over the wolves gorging themselves in a wild feast. Some of the beasts have red eyes. The sated wolves don't interfere with you when you approach the werewolf. You start to whisper the ritual words, but quickly realize that you can't. You smell blood as moonlight shines over the wolves gorge. The pack senses your smell and surround. You hear the gentle gurgling of a creek nearby. As well.
You. I know Charts ask you cartoons for deer as a cove. If you go east, you'll find a cave. A Khaldun died there. Don't look at me.
You hear the gentle gurgling of a creek nearby. It's.
Wait. I know Charts ask you cartoons.
Be it as you wish.
The creek greedily drinks the body of the drowner, which slowly vanishes. You cross over it. The mountain top is already close. Not far from the top of Palude, you find a glade, basking in the moonlight. It's close to the drop, opening to the forests around you. You feel you can find some healing herbs here.
I barely remember what happened before the forest grandpa took me. Where did we live?
Oh, You're from Pakcha, Petька.
He'll remember in time. But that one didn't completely come to his senses.
That's all right, Petька. We'll make you better.
I want to go home.
Are you ready to take on the Leshy?
I don't like any of this. Anything can happen. The Forest Master is not an easy foe.
I don't think you're ready. They ruined your wedding, and you let him sleep near the foot of the mountain. Why would this be any different? We cannot let him escape. I know what we should do. The Leshy draws his power from the forest. Palude Forest is strong, and we need to set the trees on fire. We will light one here, near the tops. Then Shorale will grow weak. Alabirga, he won't escape. Well, what do you think?
This plan you've thought up is a sin. This forest feeds you.
All right, you do as you like.
Vash, I'm scared. When are we going back?
Stop whining. Be glad you're alive.
The boy bites on his lip and hides his tears behind the torn sleeve.
Sheridan is somewhere out there. Can't make it out from here.
The trail leads to the very top. The iron smell doesn't bode well. You start to speed up, but notice a werewolf ahead of you and stop. His grinning face is missing a fang, and his eyes have almost no traces of humanity left. The werewolf closes the distance. It looks at you sullenly, measuring your power.
It will be difficult for me to reach the human inside. How do I address him? Nikolai, don't you remember me?
Vash.
Stop. Sheridan is somewhere out there. Can't make it out from here.
The trail leads to the very top. The iron smell The werewolf.
It will be difficult for me to reach the human inside. Fetka, don't you remember me?
The werewolf's steps slow down. You see the hesitation in its eyes. You seem to be on the right track.
What should I remind him of so he would want to crawl out of the wolf hide? What did he like doing in life? Stop pretending to be a beast, Fyodor. You're a musician. How will you hold your accordion with wolf paws?
Your words make the werewolf jump, as if you splashed him with boiling water. Then it shakes its head and moves towards you.
You, Fetka, will die as a wolf. Each day you'll lose more and more. Your accordion's already gone. And it's not the only thing gone. Come with me. I'll help you get it all back. What has Fetka lost? And I will be able to get it back to him. Look what I have. You left it in the accordion, didn't you?
The werewolf approaches you warily and quietly waits for the ritual to be over. Before your eyes, the wild beast turns back into the accordion player Fetka.
Oh my lord. What's going on? Where am I?
The wedding was cursed. The groom and some other people were transformed. All will be well soon.
The wedding? Nikolai's? Oh, I must have drunk too much at the wedding feast the other evening.
What's the last thing you remember?
We were talking in the wagon.
Well, at least you still have your memory. Ah, you haven't eaten any wolf food. I made it in time.
Lord, help me. Where are we? Did I hit my head or something?
Wait, Fyodor. We'll talk later. Look after him while I take care of some other business. Don't follow me. It's dangerous out here.
Alright. I don't understand any of this.
I'll explain later.
Near the peak, you see the inky black mouth of a cave, standing in contrast to the ruthless wildfire around it. Ayrat is waiting for you by the entrance, looking thoughtfully into the darkness.
Shorale won't get away from us. He'll have to answer for the wedding, as well as for my falcon, as well as for my family.
Are you insane? You're burning the same forest that feeds you.
Feeds me? Feeds me, you say? So what of it? What of my life? What of someone else's life? When he drags everyone who gets close to it into the abyss, I won't serve as cattle to be fattened up for the butcher. Look into the ravine. Do you see the darkness? Let all you priests go there with the candles. They won't make it go away. Do you think we can bargain with it? It won't make a sound. It's wild as a night, as the northern wind. What are we to it? Undergrowth, rot. You can't bargain with it. You can't...
Ayrat.
No! Would your wedding be cursed without this demon? Would your friends become wolves? I think not. And now, it's feeding on their souls.
Ayrat takes a step forward. You try to catch up to the hunter, but he escapes you as if in a dream. The fiery darkness smells of blood and burning wood. In the deep of the cave, you find the wolf shepherd and a werewolf in a ragged soldier's coat. Beside them is a pack of wolves, Ayrat's body by their feet.
What's wrong with Ayrat?
He didn't leave my back any choice.
Ayrat told me you killed his wife. And now you killed him?
Killed his wife? He thought so. But it's not true. You know yourself that I'm not a noble spirit. I remember what happened. If Eirik Short is to blame for that death, I know who's to blame. Though I think you're not ready to learn it.
I'm ready.
You know yourself who sends Chorts. And that Chort smelled of your sorcery.
But I wasn't a witch then.
Yes, you were too young. But your Chorts were owned by another Khaldun.
It can't be. Who are you?
I think you know.
You mention me in your Zagavers quite often.
Wolf Shepherd. I need to break the wolf seal.
I know, this is your choice. A hard and a difficult one. Nikolai will break the seal.
I came for the soldier.
You want to take him, but he will be better with me, safer.
Among wolves?
His soul will be safe. He can always fall from grace among men. But be it as you wish. You didn't walk all this way in vain. Take Nikolai, but I have to go.
The wolf shepherd disappears in the acrid smoke of fire in front of your eyes. You quickly perform a ritual for Nikolai. Nikolai opens his eyes, and before you can say anything, the black book flies out of your hands. One more seal is broken. The seal breaks with a flash and clash of force. You look around. It seems as if the fire has combined with ancient sorcery to begin to destroy this cave.
Hold on! The cart's about to turn over! Vasilisa! What? Fire?
Jesus Christ, you remember! So you haven't eaten anything! That's at least one good piece of news.
I think wife and I, we were on our way to get married with a guest.
That's right. We were cursed. I couldn't protect you.
Cursed? How? Where are we?
The procession has turned to wolves, Kolya. I think the cave is about to collapse. I'll explain everything later. We need to get out of here. Nikolai! Hey! Is there anybody there? Proshka? This fog is so cold. I need to get out. I think Cherden is to the west. Right. But where's west? Maybe if I can come to a glade, I will be able to tell.